Today we're going to be talking about an unexpected winter storm that will likely bring 2 to 4 inches of snow to the mid-Atlantic, with a potential pocket of 6 to 8 inches, beginning to move across the upper south, then making its way into the mid-Atlantic, and then finally exiting through the northeast. Hello everybody. Hope everyone's having a good day and a good start to their new year. We're actually now officially 2 days into the 2022 year, so we still have a long way to go to fulfill those New Year's resolutions. We're only 2 days into the new year, and we already have a crazy setup we're facing here. So if we actually look into the upper south, particularly along the Mississippi and Tennessee border, all I have to say right now is that winter is coming very soon. As you see right now, if we look at the temperatures, really into the maybe even into the mid 50s, getting into the upper 40s, that right now will be warm compared to what you're going to be facing throughout the week here. After several days of this spring-like weather into the 50s and 60s, like we saw yesterday and the day before, this will actually quickly pivot to more of the more winter weather, to more winter-like temperatures starting today and lasting throughout the week. Much cooler air is beginning to push into the region this morning, and temperatures will definitely continue to fall throughout the morning hours, really settling into the lower 30s for a large portion of the area. We'll likely stay into the 30s for the remainder of the day. As the evening hours approaches, we'll likely dive into the 20s overnight, as you can see here. 23, even dipping into the lower teens in some areas, like 21 degrees here across western Tennessee, maybe even 19 degrees. Now that you're already beginning to see a trend here with the cooler temperatures being infiltrated through the area just after experiencing spring-like temperatures, this is really only the onset of the winter storm that are likely to be moving in. Now, the biggest chance from the previous forecast is that the winter precipitation for today has definitely gone up significantly. As you can see here, within the next 6 hours, we could already see the snow begin to fall here, some light snow showers. But the model guidance has actually come to a consensus on this trough that's going to be moving through the region today. I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about now. We're going to go say 500 millibars. We could definitely see this trough definitely dipping down into the Mississippi Valley here, bringing a lot of this cooler temperature in throughout Arkansas, Tennessee, as well as northwestern Mississippi. You can see where this low pressure also begins to form here, bringing a lot of this cooler air down with it. Really just being carried by a trough that's going to be moving through the region. This is what we're seeing. Low pressure will likely form roughly around this area here throughout eastern Arkansas. It's going to be just being carried by this trough. See this blue dotted line, a couple of these blue dotted lines being seen here, really being the parent system here is carrying. This is a high pressure system here in northern Missouri as well as southern Iowa. See this blue horseshoe shape here. This is the trough we're talking about. It's going to be bringing a lot of this cooler air from Canada and the northern plains in, temperatures into the 20s, just being rushed down into this area. Now this combined with the cooler air it's already in place, also being added on to the moisture that's definitely around, makes the winter precipitation process much more likely. Several of the models, this is actually the one of the ensembles here, which tells me that several of the models put this area definitely between well over an inch in portions of the area, so we definitely have a lot of confidence here, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches in the Memphis area, Mississippi as well. Now looking out over eastern Arkansas this afternoon, as we can already see that we do have some reruns developing on the radar. This system is already beginning to take shape, so there is actually a lot of guidance that it attributes to a pretty decent snow event over the mid-south today. With all that being said, the National Weather Service has already issued a winter weather advisory for western Tennessee and a large portion of northern Mississippi through 9 o'clock tonight. But as of right now, we expect to see up to an inch of snow in this area, as you just saw in the accumulation. But these accumulations will really be expected on grassy surfaces and as well as elevated surfaces. However, something that contradicts this is that we've been seeing very warm ground temperatures due to the spring-like weather we've been experiencing the past couple of days. Temperatures as high as 60 degrees. This may actually prevent accumulations on roads and other surfaces that have been heated up due to the previous weather. However, if snowfall rates become heavier over the next few hours, accumulations could definitely be possible on less traveled roads. But I do not think this will be as much of a big issue, given the possibility that the guidance presented, as well as the cold air that will be moving into the region today and tonight. But we'll definitely still have to monitor things this afternoon. We should definitely see our coldest temperatures here on Monday morning, when our northernmost locations may even dip into the upper teens as well as the lower 20s. But most of the area will be definitely in the low to mid 20s. But on highs Monday, we'll even struggle to get out of the 30s for a good portion of the area. Northern Mississippi and southern parts of western Tennessee should make it into the low 40s possibly the following day into Tuesday. We maybe break 40 there. That's really what we're facing in the upper south area, just above the really the Mississippi River Valley. But now I'd really like to proceed where the system is headed next, according to the numerous different models presenting this information here, where it actually resides in just southeast of Tennessee and Kentucky. We're going to see a lot of the snow begin to build up because that's where the low pressure is going to be centered. Of course, there's a lot of this rain moving in here through the Carolinas, but what I really like to focus on is the rapid intensification taking place here and the very intense snowfall rates that's going to be taking place. Now, most of eastern Kentucky really remains in the warmer sector of the system, with scattered and numerous heavy showers moving through. But currently, temperatures and dew points are fairly universal across the area. Really in the mid 50s, you see temperatures here really being placed anywhere from 50 to 55 degrees across these areas. Move on to dew points, see much of the same thing, 50 to 55 degrees, maybe even reaching up to 60 here, 60 degrees as far as dew points in eastern Tennessee. So definitely a really higher and above average there. But this one definitely not last long. But we have to take into consideration that with all this moisture in the air and a lot of these high dew points, we may actually see quite a good deal of fog as well be generated. But meanwhile, winds in this area are still mainly southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour, though more northwesterly winds are just west of the forecast area. These models are surprisingly in good agreement aloft, as I showed you guys earlier, where the trough is definitely more visible here, right here on the GFS, right here on the ensemble model we have here. Definitely good agreement here, really more than enough we need to know, which is quite surprising with this good agreement aloft through the short-term and changeable portion of the forecast. They all really depict this negatively tilted trough, digging in through the lower Mississippi Valley today, closing off dynamically as it crosses the Mississippi River, roughly I'd say around 7 o'clock this evening. This mid-level low then actually further deepens as it rolls just into Kentucky tonight, which is the next area I'd like to discuss. And then, of course, moving through Virginia and the Mid-Atlantic and exiting through the Northeast. This dynamic system will definitely progress over the southern Appalachians with this ample energy, so definitely something, definitely higher snow amounts we may see there as it just moves through the Appalachians throughout even the Carolinas, Virginia, West Virginia. A lot of heavy snow in this area. You can see very high snow rates with the light pink in that area. Now the average weather we'd like to see will feature the cold season making a very sudden return to the area with a very active pattern of weather that will continue to start the work week. We'll see generally falling temperatures today as the winds switch northwest to the northwest over eastern Kentucky, which definitely leads the transition of rain to snow, really from the directions moving west to east, as well as an increase in precipitation by evening. Now the cold system will definitely pass southeast, but it'll be so close enough to the region of Kentucky and Tennessee, eastern Kentucky and Tennessee I should say, it'll actually brush the area for more of a likelihood of high-end advisory level snow across the Kentucky border with Virginia. This system will really pass as a typical strong southern Appalachian low with its snow swath running up the spine of the Appalachian Mountains in the early Monday morning. Now, accordingly, expect a window of heavy wet snow for the far southeast, or I should say western southeast, where the Appalachians are located, as it progresses northeast. And our snowfall total forecast reflects this, with the bulk of it really occurring between the hours of 4 to 5 a.m. on Monday. This will probably fall quick enough to overcome the initially mild boundary layer. However, one caveat to note is that the strength of the system may not be fully captured by the models, so some further enhancement may be possible by Monday morning, because there still isn't great certainty we have here. But this will definitely allow snow totals to potentially be higher than currently forecasted. According to the ensemble here, is this is what we're looking at. Really, I wouldn't say any higher from 7 to 8 inches. 10 inches maybe a little unlikely, but I really wouldn't say anywhere more than 6 to 8 inches. That'll be like a swath that we're going to see here throughout northeastern Virginia, maybe portions of Maryland we may be seeing. But as time goes on, we do get a better understanding of the system, and where we're seeing 10 inches, this may be more likely now that the time's getting closer and the system is intensifying. So if this actually does, if this actually true, we may see 10 inches here, a large swath of 10 inches, which will definitely, it's almost a foot of snow. Like I said, still unlikely for the time being. Still kind of early to determine, but if that is the case, this will definitely be more of a historic snowstorm. But the speed that the system is actually moving will actually limit the upslope effect there, and there's the Appalachian Mountains, with kind of replace it with drier air, clearing out of the area, moving further northeast. Also moving out some of the clouds. I see noon Monday, maybe getting some sunshine there. Like I said, moving really west to east on this system. However, do expect these clouds to still drop quite a good deal of snow. You can still see in the Appalachian areas, maybe still seeing 2 to 4 inches, maybe even 5 to 6 inches in locally heavier areas. But despite the return of the sun Monday afternoon, temperatures will still definitely struggle to get out of the freezing point. But I say overall guidance is still in decent agreement with the synoptic setup, with finer details. They still kind of remain uncertain though. But operational runs are still suggesting with much lower snowfall rates than their ensemble counterparts, which is especially true with the GFS here. See, this is what we're expecting. But honestly, the Euro model is definitely more accurate here as far as snow totals, where we may be seeing a good swath of possibly anywhere from likely a 2 to 4 inches here in South Jersey, maybe even reaching 6 inches. Of course, here where the snow will be falling the most throughout Maryland and Delaware, maybe seeing 10 inches. Bit of a stretch, but definitely possible with the amount of snow rates we're going to be getting here. Like I said, really rapid intensification, so it is still possible. So we're going to have to just wait and see if this comes to fruition. But even here in eastern Virginia, we're actually seeing lower snow amounts, maybe 4 to 6 inches, maybe even 7 inches here throughout the Appalachian. But if we look at the GFS model here, take a second to look at this, we can definitely see how it differs from the Euro, as we may see even higher amounts here, especially through Virginia. You see that darker pink there, if I could just get it to land. Right here, you can see that we may be seeing, this may be saying 15 to 17, 18 inches, as much as 18 inches, 21 inches here in eastern, really southwestern Virginia. Definitely. So basically, this is saying we're going to get over a foot in a large swath of Virginia, as well as eastern Tennessee, throughout Maryland, maybe a large swath of a foot, maybe even approaching 2 feet. This definitely is way more than expected throughout any of the if we go back to the ensembles here, we're not expecting nearly that much, so that can definitely differ from the other models. So still some uncertainty here. Even the NAM model actually is actually predicting less than what we're expecting. So the snow totals here are still being lowered a bit due to the balance, to get a bit of balance between the range of solutions, especially with the ensemble, even though the GFS appears to be increasing at the moment. With that said, the environment will still be more conducive of snow, as surface temperatures are expected to be 5 to 10 degrees below freezing. So we look at the sounding here in this area between Kentucky and Tennessee. Definitely some notable features here. But sounding profiles within the GFS suggest higher base moisture, with profiles wet bulbing down all the way through Thursday morning, which is what we're looking at now after the storm has already passed. Where transition of rain and snow mix will really be possible during the day Thursday. Temperatures kind of climb above freezing, but this placement of this low is further north within the Euro model, suggesting almost like wraparound moisture that could sneak in through late Thursday night. Assuming the ECMWF ensemble as well as the Euro are both true, that a return to all snow is possible overnight as surface temperatures bottom out well below freezing. But confidence with the system overall still remains relatively low though, as operational runs and finer scale details still lack agreement. But now we further track the system into Virginia, we're going to see a lot of this whole bulk of heavier snow we see appear here in the radar throughout Virginia will definitely be taking place. So that could definitely be why the GFS model has increased their snowfall totals due to this. We may see some, like I said, rapid intensification here over the day tomorrow, Monday. But if we further track this now into Virginia, we have this is definitely going to be the first true significant snowstorm of the season in this area, where models have come to a decent agreement with this system moving across the upper south in the same track we've been observing here. But as this heavy snowfall occurs, higher rates can definitely overcome the surface temperatures in a short period, definitely a short period of time, because it's going to be very fast moving, but it's also going to intensify very quickly. But you can definitely expect a dusting of snow from the Danville area, as well as the Roanoke area in Virginia, but potentially anywhere from 6, maybe I'd say 4 to 6 inches will definitely be a norm for this area, but still maybe reaching 6 to 10 inches north of the Roanoke, maybe Chatham to Smith Mountain Lake in Virginia. Definitely maybe see closer to a foot of snow. Not out of the realm of possibility, but like I said, more generally 4 to 6 inches would definitely be of reach. But again, the sign could definitely change if we track the upper 5-hour, 8-hour low changes. Further west, I'd say confidence is greater for a general 3 to 6 inches of snow, according to the ensembles I showed you guys. But with locally higher amounts possible, like I said, maybe even 6 to 10 inches, closer to a foot. But keep in mind that roads will definitely be impacted with higher snowfall rates likely, as well as cooler temperatures. But overall, I'd say confidence is greater than 50% that several inches of snow will accumulate late tonight into Monday over most of the forecast area. That can definitely be said. But the system will actually exit the Roanoke area in eastern Virginia, even in the Virginia Beach area. Will actually be exiting the region, and will actually be entering the Washington D.C. District, where dramatic shifts in guidance will occur over the next 12 hours for a potential snowstorm. The reflection at the surface will be better for the development of the low pressure, rapidly deepening and intensifying over this area. So, like I said, a lot of heavy snowfall in the District of Columbia as well. Bringing in much lower temperatures as well, below freezing point throughout this area, really throughout the entire area by maybe 7 o'clock tomorrow, below freezing. Definitely conditions favorable for snow, which is definitely what we'll get. If we actually move into 7 o'clock, say tomorrow afternoon. It's likely to all have at least advisory snowfall level accumulations, essentially really south of I-66, as well as US 50. But the national blend of models, which definitely followed closely about in the development of snowfall accumulations this morning, really dampens the largest snowfall contributor, whereas as I showed you guys, the GFS splits the difference between that model accumulating and the lesser accumulating NAM forecasts. Now, because of these large variations, dramatic shift in guidance between where the low pressure will be, what the snowfall rates will be, and how much we'll receive, with all of this in mind, with all these variations and dramatic shift guidance, advisories have definitely been, as you can see here, advisories have been issued west of I-95. The precipitation onset will be last shortly after midnight tonight, and watches also issued along eastern portions of I-95 as well. The GFS model, we can see that where this light pink will be showing up across even just southwest of the District of Columbia, there will be very, very heavy snowfall rates. Also, in turn, creating a gradient of snowfall accumulation really even north of the District of Columbia as well, where I'll get to next. We'll also have potential warnings and advisories that will most certainly be modified as guidance, hopefully converge with the solution over the next couple, maybe even the next 12 hours. But the most likely snowfall forecast will be used with caution, probabilities of higher amounts. So we're really looking at 4 to 6 inches at the minimum, 6 inches minimum here throughout the area. But these totals should definitely be considered when planning trips or even on the way to work if you going back to work tomorrow. But now we're going to hone in on the northern portion of the Mid-Atlantic where we find New Jersey, which is actually where I live. So yes, I would likely be seeing a good deal of snow tomorrow on Monday. Definitely excited for that. Definitely our first snowstorm of the season here, possibly getting up to 4 to 6 inches. But this actually differs from the previous forecast, big time. Major change in the forecast has now occurred, but at least for southern South Jersey. But as you now know, a significant snowstorm is now expected to impact portions of the region Sunday night, later tonight into Monday, rapidly evolving the forecast. It's definitely worth watching closely here. It's now in effect for portions of the eastern shore of Maryland, central and southern Delaware, and far southern New Jersey. Basically, what we're going to have set up here, we're going to have extreme photogenic lift. That'll cause more precipitation to rapidly develop to our southwest by early tonight. Definitely quickly reaching the area. Temperatures will definitely fall throughout the night, eventually near below freezing throughout the entire area. However, this isn't going to happen in an instant, although it will be happening very quickly. Initially, temperatures will probably remain more on the warmer side, maybe into the mid-40s, upper 30s, enough for it to rain. Especially across southern Jersey here. And then not long after, the snow will begin to enter the area and possibly dump a couple inches of snow overnight. But as time moves on, this continued infiltration of cold air will definitely have more of the snow move in. Snowfall rates of 1 inch per hour or greater at times would definitely be possible in the winter watch area, as you can see here. As the wave of low pressure pulls away, though, this should really conclude the snowstorm we're going to be getting here during the late afternoon or evening hours from southwest to northeast. Regarding totals, warm conditions and the warm ground will definitely be taken into consideration, with snow ratios likely be below 10 to 1, at least at first. But however, during a more intense period of snow, the warm ground could easily be overwhelmed, getting still 4 to 6 inches, maybe even greater. But looking at some of the runs now, initially, it's possible that some of the areas well north of the watch of the which the storm watch area could still be play for a significant amount of snow, even approaching the Philadelphia metro area. It's not highlighted at the moment, but I'm sure it will be by tomorrow because we're definitely going to get some snow there as well. And it's definitely possible that current forecast maximum amounts could be maybe even too low, maybe even considerably too low. And they will, but it really just depends on how this is going to play out. But definitely do not want to exaggerate the forecast here. But once again, it's definitely worth closely monitoring. But once it's past this point, once it finally exits through the Massachusetts, Connecticut, Long Beach Island area, as it exits throughout the northeast, we should be in the clear for that time. But I'm still a very big snowstorm facing tomorrow. I'm more than excited. I'll definitely be out there trying to get as much footage as I can. First big snowstorm of the season. Only 2 days into the new year. That's crazy. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. If you do enjoy the weather content I make, as well as weather updates such as this, please consider subscribing to the channel. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a good day, a good rest of the new year, and I'll see you guys in the next one.